Hi everyone, this is Jed Schlackman. I'm a holistic counselor and spiritual energy healer. In this video I want to speak about holistic healing for some of our digestive organs. In particular, we're going to focus on the liver and the pancreas. These organs are located in our body in the solar plexus area. So they relate to the solar plexus chakra on an energetic level. In Chinese medicine, it's commonly mentioned that the liver is the organ that tends to hold on to unprocessed or unresolved anger. So the emotion of anger is associated with that organ. In an energy medicine type of perspective, it's also seen that our pancreas relates to how we're digesting our life experience. If we're responding to life as though life is sweet, or if we have some bitterness or sourness related to how we're experiencing our life. When we look at how these organs function, we see that they kind of work together to keep a balance in our body. The liver is needed to process fats and oils that we consume, while the pancreas produces insulin, which is needed to regulate blood sugar in our body to help transport sugar to where it's needed, to the cells that need that sugar as fuel to create energy, essentially, since sugars are what our body uses for energy production at the cellular level. So if that sugar isn't processed properly, we can be lacking the energy we need in our cells, and we may also end up with the blood sugar level going too high, which causes a variety of problems. So we need to maintain a balance or homeostasis, and this is a key to just about everything in our body, to all the different fluids and chemicals in our body needing to be kept in a healthy range, in a homeostasis. Too much or too little, and things tend to go out of balance and cause different problems. Certainly our diet and the foods we consume play a significant role in our health and how those organs are functioning. If you're consuming too much food, if you're overworking those organs, they'll tend to get stressed and not be able to function as well as they need to. Our modern diets often have over-processed ingredients or over-concentrated forms of sugars and fats, and thus it's easy for people to overconsume, especially of those particular types of substances and foods. So diets nowadays tend to have too much processed fats, too much processed sugars. People aren't eating as many of the traditional natural whole foods that they consumed in the past. They're using foods that have added refined sugars, added fats such as hydrogenated oils. So this isn't the diet that our ancestors had, that human beings were adapted to. Also, if we look at the role that these different components of food play in our body, we can see that they're necessary and essential nutrients in the right amounts and in the right form. So we need carbohydrates, we need sugars, we need certain essential fats, certain oils in our body, they serve an important role in our health. Fats are for storing energy in a sense, whereas sugars bring an immediate burst of energy. If we look back into the history of the human species, we'll consider that as an animal that needs energy, carbohydrates and sugars are kind of that primary source of energy. And in many areas of the world, the dominant portion of the diet would have been foods that are mainly carbohydrate based. So fruits, also different forms of grains. These are foods that provide carbohydrates. Root vegetables also, like potatoes. So human beings have been consuming those for a very long time and sustaining themselves with those foods that provide that source of energy through carbohydrates. Fatty foods, to some extent, have also been consumed, and those are foods that would tend to be used during times where food in general is not as plentiful or abundant. So in a hunter-gatherer type culture, people might hunt and catch animals and consume them, and that might be the only meal they have for a day or a few days. So they would be, in a sense, going through a fasting period after they've feasted on that food. Nowadays, not many people fast. So if you're using a higher fat type diet, but you're not fasting, then it's easy for your body to build up too much fat. So this is one reason why people are having issues with fats in their diet now, getting fatty liver and conditions like that. In research that's been done related to type 2 diabetes, it's actually been found that fats are really the key cause of insulin resistance. So people often think sugars, too much carbohydrates, are creating diabetes, but that's in a sense more of a secondary factor, and perhaps a primary factor is the excess processed and saturated fats that people are consuming, which are creating that insulin resistance, which in turn leads to the problem with processing sugars. If we had diets that were more natural and balanced, there would tend to be less problems with liver disease, with diabetes and pancreas problems. So this is one aspect of this issue that we'd want to consider in order to heal those organs. The liver is an organ that processes toxins. It helps break them down so our body can eliminate them. So any overexposure to toxic chemicals, to alcohol, to different forms of drugs, those can all impact the liver and impair its ability to function. So those issues can combine with diet to lead to the deterioration of the liver. Now, looking at things from a mind, body, and energetic perspective, we can see how those emotions that I mentioned earlier, having angry feelings, resentment toward things in life, those emotions are a form of density and toxicity that actually has a physical impact on those organs. And as the energy flow to the organs is disrupted, then those organs have less energy to operate, to do what they need to do. if we work on healing energetically using modalities like Reiki, like acupuncture or acupressure, then we're able to help regenerate a healthy energy flow so that those organs can handle their tasks, their responsibilities much better. I found that people often have unconscious issues where they carry emotions from past experiences that could be even from their childhood or from other lifetimes that are impacting those organs. It's also not that unusual for the energy to be affected by some type of injury or wound a person has experienced either in the past, in this lifetime, or in another lifetime. So helping release the impact of those experiences, helping release whatever pain may have been carried from that time, and any emotions that may be still tied to those injuries also. So working to clear the energy of the organs, as well as working with diet and lifestyle to help really nurture these organs, to help them be cleansed and to help them activate their natural potential, their ability to process the foods that are consumed. For those that are looking to overcome something like diabetes or insulin issues, it may be helpful to use a diet that's actually both low carbohydrate and low fat. Research has been done using a raw vegan diet. There's even a video about it, about healing diabetes in 30 days using that raw vegan diet. And that's a diet that's mostly fruits and vegetables. So fruits and vegetables are high water foods. They have a high liquid content and mostly a low fat content. Most fruits and vegetables have very little oil in them. It's only when those are processed, when foods are processed to extract an oil, that you get a high oil content. But the actual original whole fruit or vegetable would have a very low oil content. And that gives the body an opportunity to cleanse, to release any buildup of excess fats. So that diet will tend to help reverse diabetes. It will also usually help people with losing weight, with improving their cardiovascular function, and other measures of health. For those that are interested in learning about energy healing, about energy psychology, hypnosis and regression therapy, and other modalities that address things on an energetic or psychological and spiritual level, I invite you to view some of my other videos. You can also visit my website at www.phinsights.com. That's PHINSIGHTS.com. I wish each of you many blessings, good health, well-being, happiness, and fulfillment. For now, I want to wish everyone a wonderful day. Namaste.